Mike's here with his bee suit today. We're on the rooftop bees, and the plan today is to pull off. We know there's at least one capped super, potentially two. With the flow that we had in June, I would assume there's probably two. We'll take a peek, and then we're going to take that home and extract it. The plan is to take each frame out individually, shake the bees off, and then brush them off with the bee brushes that we have, and then we'll stick them in these boxes. These are 8 frames, so 8 will fit on there, and then we'll put 2 on top, and this will keep the bees out so we can transport it where we're going. And Mike's going to do all the work today. I'm just going to do all the recording. I was originally going to plan to look in the brood chambers. I don't know that we need to do that today. Okay. We'll focus on this since it's going to get hot, and then when we pull the supers off, we're going to put the wet supers back on. When we pull them back off, then we can do a deep dive, make sure the queen's still doing a good job and laying it up. So, just puffing. Yeah, that's better quality than mine. It's probably good there. And one thing when you're pulling honey and stuff, we always smoke them, but we don't smoke them a lot when we're pulling the honey, when the box is open, because if there's any open nectar, it could take on the smell of, or the taste of the smoke.
So relative to what I just did, is that a lot or a little?
A few puffs, probably a couple puffs left on the entrance, but at the top, that was fine. But if they're feisty, we're gonna smoke them no matter what, but we try to limit our smoke during this process. Grab my hive tool and my hive brush. All right, and we'll just keep this stuff close.
How did we do this last time? Did we set this directly on the roof, or did we set it on these?
I think we set it on the roof because we didn't want to scratch your nice paint job. And you can smoke puff in that hole right there. Just a little bit. Yep, just 1 or 2 puffs. That'll work. Just need to make sure they know that we're coming. Just have a notch. Okay, yeah. Next time I guess you did. It was prop, so you were smoking that. So sometimes the notch you can smoke in through the notch, but this one doesn't have a notch. A lot of times you want to try to access the hive from the side, because if you notice, there's bees kind of collecting behind you. So if you're on this side over here, that'll probably be a little better. And when you're picking the boxes up, they'll be closer to you, so you can pivot instead of taking them the long way.
Gotcha.
Okay. Remember, we're trying to pry on this side because there's less of a box here. So you did good here. If you just push that in further, actually go this direction if you can. Yep. And just go ahead and pry it. There you go. Always checking the top for a queen. We do have a queen excluder, but it's good practice. Yeah. All right, and we're going to pull 1 frame at a time. Getting a gap in there. Still got so much propolis on him. So we just moved him over. We didn't really do that full inspection. And this is the time that when we extract these, this is the time when I will scrape the propolis off. Oop, we broke a little bit off right there. That's not a big deal.
Okay.
But
yeah, that's the only thing.
Mostly capped there. Looks like some of this is empty. This was pretty much capped last time, I remember.
This is the one we just added.
Well, these are the old frames, though. I think we added the other one underneath.
Oh, you're right.
So typically what I'll do is I'll shake the bees off. I've been shaking them on the inner cover, but my hive's set up a little differently. So what I'm going to do is just set this up here for now, and then I'll shake them here. And then I'll get my brush, get your brush, and then you just, any extra bees, we'll just gently brush them off near the entrance. There's a small hive beetle right there, just for reference.
All right.
I'm going to flick him off here. Give him a smash.
So we do have beetles.
Yep, beetles happen. And this time of year, you're going to see a little bit more. Okay, you go ahead and start the next one, and then start loading these boxes up. They're usually pretty nice at first, and then they'll get a little bit more feisty as we get into them. Got it? Oh, I was gonna help you out there.
There's much of a bang there.
And then I'll give you this. So just grab the ears, shake them off down there, and then go ahead and flick off whatever's left. And just,
I don't think I'm shaking it hard.
just short little jerks. It's just enough to kind of dislodge their feet. It doesn't even need to be that much. You can just kind of do little vibrations almost, and then just grab that and brush off the rest. Got it?
Oh, come back.
Yeah, so I kind of, when I'm doing it, I'm almost always constantly on the move because sometimes I can't find it. You good? Go ahead and get that next one out. We can probably work together, and I can probably do most of the hive tool stuff and then separate them out so that you can just pick them up. Are you good? Ooh, you smell it?
Mm-hmm.
Smell that, honey. Good deal. Yep. So typically when we're pulling these out, we're making sure they're at least 80% capped, and most of these are 100% capped. So, and then I'll show you how to do the moisture readings and stuff too. Because if it's too moist, we have to figure out how to dry it so that it doesn't ferment. If it ferments, it expands. If it expands inside of a glass jar, you have a small bomb. Perfect. Yeah, just try to keep them kind of as tight as you can.
Got it.
Yep. The frames below are drawn out, and they look like they're mostly capped. We'll make a judgment call when we get down there. Yeah.
You ready to shake this one?
I shook it. Yeah, you can if you want. But
Nice.
it's a lot faster with two people. It's a lot faster with two people.
Got it.
Yeah, the first day I was pulling, the heat index was 112, and it was not fun.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can shake these back into the box, but since we're pulling the next box off of this as well, we won't do that today.
Keep making the mistake of walking straight into that smoke cone.
Yeah, we probably don't need much of that. I'm going to set it on its side. That'll slow the burning down.
The last one, or is there two more?
There'll be two more. Actually, there'll be three more. So that'll be the last one that fits in this box. Again, this is 8-frame equipment, so it's not going to fit. We're going to set two on top, but we got to try to make sure we set them in a way that they don't crush the honey from each other. And then when we carry them into that cart, we just got to be careful to not jostle them too much. It's okay if they break open. We're just trying to keep as much honey as we can. These are good looking frames.
Got it.
Capped. So what I've noticed is a lot of times on the outside edge, they'll either take this honey first or they'll cap it last. So sometimes we'll have some open on the edges.
Got it.
Do you want to switch roles on this one?
I'm doing either way. Feel pretty confident in either role.
Good. Put that one back up for a second.
Huh?
Lift that one back up for a second, or just slide it away from the other one. Okay, yeah, that almost let cat brood for a second. It's just capped honey in different color there.
Let's say if you want to switch, then we can.
Yeah, we'll switch and then experience that side of it. In that last frame, I'm just gonna be careful. Sometimes there is bridge comb and stuff, but it is what it is. It's honeycomb. You gotta be careful when you're pulling it up, so we're reducing the number of bees we may smush.
Sorry, I started myself. A lot more crunching than I expected.
Gotcha. Yeah, you can try to keep it even because sometimes the bars themselves can smush bees against the edge.
Gotcha.
Ooh, so this will be a judgment call.
The backside doesn't look too ready.
Oh no!
I would.
What do you see?
What? Oh,
That's not honey. It's cat brood,
Oh crap!
and there's eggs and larvae.
So they got through the excluder.
There she is, right there.
Oh wow!
You mind hanging on to that and try to keep an eye on her if you can?
Yep.
I'm gonna go. She went to the other side. You okay if we mark her?
Yeah, good.
Okay. So, interesting. So, we had the top propped, right? But have you flipped it since she went to the other side?
I haven't touched it.
Okay,
Oh,
go
sorry.
ahead and flip to the other side.
Sorry, I meant
Oh no, you're totally fine.
putting it in the head itself.
There she is.
Yep.
And she doesn't like the light, so she goes to the other side. I'm just getting the queen
Boom.
thing ready. I kind of need her to be on the comb, so let's see if I can coax her back this way. Come on, sweet girl.
I'm going to turn it this way so she stays in the shade a little bit.
So you just gently set it down. Make sure she's in there.
Yep. She's in.
She's in. And then you slowly close the door. You can go a little faster if you know she's not going to get chopped in half.
Alright. You want me to set this back in? Gently?
Yeah, we're going to have to if it's got brood in it. That's crazy. So we are going to have to do a deeper inspection because it is possible that there are 2 queens in this hive.
Alright.
I kind of doubt it. I think what happened is probably this queen excluder is not perfect. Anytime that you use a marking pen, you must dab it a few times.
Yeah.
Because did you see how that just blurred it out? That just happens. So a lot of that I think is temperature. So you got to make sure that doesn't happen when it's on your queen. So make several dots.
Sorry.
People have done it before.
I'm sorry, it makes me giggle because I'm visualizing it in my head that just
There's a beekeeper
get a
that
fully colored
has a queen that's called Big Red because it happened to it. So she's right here. You see her? She's this way.
Yes.
I'm waiting for her thorax to be there, and then I'll push her up a little more. Oop. And then I'll just dab a little bit. Oop, come on, sweet girl. And then I pull it away so that it can dry. Now the other ones on there potentially could knock some of that off,
But she can't get through that, can she?
She can't. They can, but she can't. So that's a queen excluder as well. She could have squeezed through there when she was a virgin. That's why I checked that frame. It almost looked like it was cat brood. And I was like, no, it couldn't be. And it wasn't, but. All right, so.
Should we clean any of this up or is that safe?
Let's go ahead and take some more frames. If they're just honey, we're gonna go ahead and take them. If they're not, and we have brood on anything else, it's gonna go.
All right, well,
You don't happen to have that frame rest, do you?
No.
Okay, let's go ahead and take this one out and just stick it in this box for now. That way we'll have one out and we can work it. And if you ever do this, you need to keep her in the shade too. Just because we don't want her to get too hot. while she's drying off. Yeah, and she may have just slipped up and started on that edge because there's not much on this one. But again, some of these are not fully capped, so we could always harvest this later. It's impressive that they were able to build that out in a month. I mean, most of this looks like it's built out. You want some smoke, or are you good?
I feel fine, but
okay.
Do you think we should? Do you think we're getting to a point where it might be
if they're getting more defensive, then
I'm seeing that.
Then it won't hurt.
Maybe a puff or two.
That'll just push them down a little bit. I just got cap and then nectar over here.
Side.
Okay.
Not, I wouldn't say 70%.
Okay. So this is how we test it. We give it a good shake, and if nectar comes out,
yeah.
Some of that's honey that's dripping though. Let's try this side because I got something. You see any fluid coming out?
No.
So typically that's dry enough. See how they're starting to cap it? They probably have it dry enough.
Yeah.
We could probably take this one. We'll leave this one set up for now as a maybe, and then keep working through this.
All right. So can you recap what you're saying about how dry it needs to be?
If it's 80% capped, typically the moisture is low enough that it will not ferment. If the moisture is too high, you either need to figure out how to make it drier, or leave it on the hive until they dry and cap it. I didn't bring the refractometer. I wasn't expecting to see stuff partially drawn with the flow that we had, but we may end up just leaving this.
Yeah, looks like they're capping some of that. This side's...
What's the other side looking like?
But look at this side over here on the inside of that one.
Let's leave that one in here. Take that one out. If you can slide this away about an inch, you should be able to lift that without using the hive. Like if you pry that away in about an inch, you should be able to lift it without the hive tool. The reason we have to lift it with the hive tool is the propolis that's on the edges here. So when you pry it away from that, as long as you get enough room to get your finger in there, you should be able to lift that straight up now. There you go. That's fully capped on this side, so that's easy to take. And that is too. So give him a good shake down there. I'm gonna set her in the shade for now.
My shakes are not good.
It's just small little, almost like a vibration is what you want to do.
I got it in two.
Yeah, it works. So I just do like short little, just a tiny little vibration. And all it does is they take to flight because they're like, what's going on? And it's an earthquake. Again, we'll just take what's capped. We can always leave this stuff that's not, and then we'll put the wet super on top of this. Fully capped over here.
Good.
Yep, the side is too. You want to give it a good shake right there? Just small little vibrations, just kind of like a. There you go.
That was a little exciting.
Just gently just brush them off. So some of these bee brushes have plastic bristles, and they are very harsh on the bees. This one looks like it's, I don't know if it's plastic or horsehair, but
Sorry, what's that?
the horsehair ones are a lot softer than the plastic ones.
What do you think the one I've got is?
It almost looks like a horsehair one because of the color, but it almost looks like it's mixed in. It's very soft compared. The ones with the yellow bristles are really too stiff for bees. So, and all you're doing to do is just lodge them. You're not trying to rip their legs off. And this is the slow way to do it. Fume boards could be faster. This is how I do it. I don't know if this is how I'll be doing it next year, after all the stuff that I did this year, but we'll see. Good job.
Sorry, what's faster?
It's a fume board, so it's like a...
Oh yeah, I remember them talking about that, and they passed it off as us and stuff.
Did you smell the one that smelled like cherries, I hope?
I didn't smell like cherries to me.
Then you probably smelled the butyric acid, which smells like vomit.
Yeah, it smelled, yeah. I was going to say very acidic.
So I did buy some, because I thought I was going to be doing a cutout, and it's the cherry stuff. I'll let you smell it. It smells amazing. But it repels the bees and they go down. So. And then there's less. And then people blow them out of the box with like leaf blowers on low settings. Very similar to what we're doing here. It's just seems a little more forceful. Luckily, a lot of people are using electric blowers these days instead of the gas ones.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine putting exhaust fumes on my food. But
so sorry, lady. Made a crunch noise.
Oh no, you killed all of them. No, I'm just kidding. No, you're okay.
I actually did freak out at first. Like that was my first thought.
Yeah, yeah.
So why does it curl up on the side there?
Show me what you're talking about.
See the corner right on the side?
It's probably, if you look to the next frame, it probably had an indentation like that. So they probably just drew it wider because they had space to put it in there. There's another hive beetle right there. If we don't get these out, I can get these out pretty easily when we go to extract. Can't tell if I got it or not. But it's easier to do that in the air conditioning. Yeah, the next frame over has a little indentation.
Yeah, that's my room.
That's totally fine. Yeah, the outside ones get capped last, so that's fine. Okay, that's brood. That's brood in there too.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yep. And flip to the other side real quick. So this is drone brood here. Yeah.
You ever watch Superman?
Old school? Yeah, yeah.
You remember Brainiac?
I don't know that I do.
So what I was gonna say is that
Take or
pattern
not
they
take?
created looks like Brainiac, huh?
Take or not take? Let it be your call.
Let's leave it.
Okay. All right. So since we're not taking the entire box, we don't need that extra box, but we're just going to fill this in with foundation. We're going to put wet supers on here, so we probably don't have to do that, but
it's the middle one that had the queen on it, right?
Doesn't necessarily matter right now. We need to get in the bottom box to see if there's a queen or signs of a queen in the next box down.
All right.
Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and take this one off. You need to get that, go ahead.
Yeah.
This is a good stopping point. This was the outside. Let's put some foundations in here for now. The reason I'm putting foundation here is because that one's drawn out funky, so I don't want to smash it in against that. One, two, three, four, five, six. 4 more, make 10. All right, I'm gonna pop this off and set it off. It's not a lot of weight, so I can go ahead and do this. Are you getting your gloves back on? And when you're pushing in like this, it's even more important to go straight this direction with the queen excluder so you don't break that plastic queen excluder.
I got you.
And I'm just going to set them down here for now. I'm going to take this off. Jump in where you feel comfortable. It's going to be, you can pull, it's going to snap, so I'm just trying to be gentle with it. There we go. Put them down there. I'm just gonna put this on here for a little bit of shade for now. I'm actually gonna pull this top and stick it on there for now. Nothing in there yet. All right, so if she was up here, I would expect to see some brood up here. I don't know that we're gonna have to go in the deep. Usually you'll start from an edge, probably start from the second one. Looks like there's a lot of stuff going on here. If we can get it pried apart.
Wow, that's hard.
Yes, it is. Okay, try for this third one. This third one's moving for me.
Okay. Probably should go this way, I guess. Let's see if I can just go under it.
And just slow and steady pressure. Don't force anything. You moving?
A little
Coming
bit.
up?
A little bit.
Great.
Perfect.
Got it.
Yep.
Woo! It's really stuck. Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I got it. I got it. We'll
Got it? Go ahead and grab this other side.
Got it.
Scraping a little honey off. It's not a big deal. And that's kind of the challenge with pulling from the middle. You could have stuff like this. So just trying to get out what we can, which is goodness. That's how's that side
It's
look?
got some weight.
Jeez, it's all honey.
So, what do we want to do?
I need to see if she's laying anywhere else, and if there may potentially be 2 queens in here. You can probably set that one over here. I don't think we're going to harvest that. It's really dark, and I'd like to leave it on for them.
You want me to set it in that box?
It's a deep. You can try setting this box. You just kind of set it at an angle. Wait, that one's full.
Yeah.
So that one. Or set it. You can set it here. Just this bottom end might need to be up here, for it to.
Sorry, like.
So set that rabbit. Set one of the ears in here, and then the other one, the bottom needs to be up here.
Okay.
Just yeah, like that. And then try to put it this way so the gravity doesn't make it fall. Yep. Shade's good while we're up here too.
Yeah, that's not ideal. It's sitting on the honey.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think your little tote had a frame holder.
Yeah.
But I'm
you
not
want me to go grab it?
Yeah, I mean, might as well. We may have to go to the next box. I'm gonna just look at a couple more without pulling them.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like you're mostly capped honey up here. So we're gonna just jump to the next box down when you come back.
Okay.
This is capped honey in here, so. And this is what they need for the winter, so we're not pulling any of this stuff. We only pull stuff that's above the excluder in those mediums.
So, can I look at all the one we're working on or the one we're not working on?
Let's go ahead and put that one back in. I think we need to look in the bottom box. Actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and scrape some propolis off of the edge of the frame. So I need you to scrape these down.
Yes.
And we're just getting where it sticks together. That's the big thing. And then sort of anything around this ear, like where your fingers are,
Yes.
scrape off as much of that as we can. Hopefully that'll help us next time. Get in the box. Of course that fell down. Oh, no, I got it. Good deal. Yeah, we probably don't need that yet.
Well, I was going to put it there so I can work on this
Oh, that's fine.
at a higher level.
Oh, you were? Okay, got it. That makes sense. Sorry.
Yeah. My back's not bad, but I'm trying to.
No, try to save it.
Really wrecking our honey production here.
Well, again, they'll clean that up pretty quick. I'll take a little of this down so we don't have that same problem again pulling it out. Good here. It's really just these shoulders that we need because the rest of that's not really going to stick to much. So
Okay.
here, let me hold it and maybe you can do it easier. That frame holder is actually a little bit in the way. What I do is I set it down like, oh, nice. Look at that little teeter-totter action. That way you can press straight down with some force and then just glide right along that. There you go. That's all we need.
Cool.
Oops, can you wipe that off real quick? I accidentally set it in the propolis.
Come on, little buddy.
Okay, and we'll set this back in. Jump down to that bottom box. All right, so where are we going to put the bottom box?
We can set them on these center blocks here.
Okay, let's do that. All right, pop this side. So the other hive tool has a little bit of flatter spot, but you can kind of bump your hand in there and get that to go straight in like that. And then once you're in a good amount, then it'll pop up. I think we're good right here. You want to stand on this side, your left hand here and your right hand here, then you can just lift it and rotate it back behind you. There you go. Perfect. Perfect. Set her down. And so we're gonna stay away from the frame that has the broken thing right now.
Okay.
She most likely would be in the middle. I would think she's somewhere here in the center part. So let's try to get this frame out first. What I'm looking for when I look down there is if there's capped honey along the top edge, typically she's not going to be there. Or that she'll have brood there. And if this frame is light, most likely it's got brood and not honey in it. Got it?
Yep. Ooh, oh, pretty.
So there's open larvae in there. There's pollen, nectar, and honey. Now, is there any young larvae in there? Let's see anything that's young. Oh my goodness. Okay.
What?
I see eggs that are about 2 days old down here.
Okay.
I really think you have 2 queens in this hive.
All right. So can we find one and put her in there, or how's this work?
Yeah, we could potentially split. Let's go through the rest of this. Get your frame hanger on this side. If we can find her, we need to find her. If we don't find her, that may be the queen for this hive, and we don't want to pull them out and make them queenless.
Alrighty. So you want to go this one next?
Yeah, whichever you prefer. So what I'm seeing is tipped over larvae, so they could be 2 to 3 days old. Actually, can you move the queen down by move it all the way down to all the way down on the ground, sorry. Yeah, still in the shade, but down there. Now just allow me to put this on here. Like smacking her. Yep. Pull that one and then we'll work this way. So at this point, I'm hoping that we see her.
Yeah, they're getting feisty.
And that may be because we have their queen, so go ahead.
What are we seeing?
So I'm seeing tons of pollen here, nectar. I see some cat brood and some younger stuff.
Okay.
Cat brood there. Grab that from you.
Yep. Wait a second.
I'm seeing what I think is eggs. Maybe 2 days.
Oh, that's all long body, but I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna stop looking for that and start looking for a queen.
I'm gonna lose it for a second.
Yeah, some of these are eggs, so they look like they're upright. I'm gonna leave this one out as well, so we have room.
All right. Am I in the way, so?
Nope. I'm in your way. So a lot of the foragers are coming back. That's why they're a little cranky. The worst is if you don't see a queen, but someone on YouTube sees it, and then you already made your decisions based on not seeing a queen. It's difficult. I think there's a guy that just did that recently, but I think it all worked out in the end. But it's just hey, so you feel how the hives are lighter, or the frames are lighter?
So just imagine online.
Shoot, man, this is. These eggs are still straight up and down.
Why is that?
It means they just laid them. Man, I'm smelling so much alarm pheromone. Here's your queen. Here's your other queen. So we have 2 queens. I did not expect that at all. Like, that is crazy. Okay, let's go ahead and mark her as well.
All right. So
do you mind holding her?
I got this.
She's right here.
Yep.
Okay. Shoot. Shoot.
I've got another queen thing in my bin in there.
Does it look like mine, the yellow one?
I don't think so, but
we can transfer her though. I'll be right back. I'm gonna check on that. Just keep an eye on her. If you want to swing around so that she's sort of in the shape. Wasn't expecting that. That's pretty impressive. There. I don't know if she could have been from a usurpation swarm where one swarm takes over another, or virgins came out and they just went into different places. This is a queen clip. Similar, but not a queen marking tool. What I'm gonna do is attempt to get her to walk out into this and then get her into it. Oh, there you go, sweet girl. Go. Okay, she's in that clip right there. See her?
yeah. Well,
Just need to leave her in the darkness. All right, so this is why we have all your extra hive equipment built and painted, right?
yeah. No.
Where'd you see her? I'm sorry.
Right here.
You're at the center?
My
You're-
thumb.
okay.
You're right. I should have got my.
No, that is one thing. You'll always get caught off guard. Even if you are prepared, you're not going to be prepared.
No, I could definitely do it. I just make my life up more.
You're a busy guy. I'm not just giving you a hard time. Just because. All right, so now you can drop it back in now. Now that we know that there's 2 queens, so we have a few decisions to make though. Actually, we have several decisions to make. Again, this is a never-ending decision tree.
I love decisions. They make my life complicated.
Yeah. All right, sweet girl, I need you to flip over. Come on. So I'm not going to dot her belly, so give her a little bit of room and hope that she turns over and gets on the pad. She did. Just be patient. You get her close. Oh, she's skinny. That's probably good enough. I'd like to have a little bigger dot, but I don't want to get it on her eyes or anything. So, so she's marked. We also know that this girl seems to make bees that are not excited, not nice, not happy to see you. Not the end of the world. I think since they're survivor bees, I'd rather just let them see what they can do.
So you're saying that's the mean queen?
These bees didn't do that at the top. They did this at the bottom. So,
yeah.
But at the top, she didn't have a lot of space to lay in and all that other stuff. So the reason we were seeing some of those frames were getting emptied out is because they were making room for her. So these are your options. Several options here. We can take that box and this box, take half of everything, split it into 2 colonies, put 1 queen in one and 1 queen in the other, which is going to be tough because all those bees are going to want that queen. That can be a problem. Or you could consider doing a medium setup. Since we have some here that have brood in it, what she really needs is drawn comb, but as soon as we extract that honey, the old comb that's in there, we could put that in a medium and set her just in a medium, and to potentially put a medium back on top and let her have those. You know, potentially, which would probably be best for the bees, is to put this back together and then make one that has 2 mediums set up and let that be your brood chamber and not take much honey.
Okay. Let's do that last one then.
Okay. So, how much honey do you want?
I don't care.
Okay.
It could be none or it could be a lot.
So we could do none and leave it all in there, or we could take a few frames and put a little bit of foundation. There's still time for them to build stuff out, but they're going to be 2 mediums, so they're going to be just a little bit bigger than a deep. So this one's going to have more likely of a chance of surviving. But if we have one that's already filled with honey, they may be okay. You may be fine.
Well, let's do the best that we can do to keep them both able to survive.
Okay. Okay. So let's put these frames back in,
Okay.
and we'll put this hive back together. Get our queen in here, and then put the top on there. Yeah, wasn't expecting to find 2 queens, one below. So that's a situation where that can happen though. If they're above an excluder and below an excluder, you can have a 2 queen setup, and sometimes they work together, or sometimes they can be really defensive. And maybe that's why they're defensive, because there's 2 different types of bees in here. That's crazy though. I wonder. So this is this queen, right? Let me see this queen. So a lot of times you can see the defensiveness. I'm going to set these 2 up here and just see which one they go to. So they seem kind to her. They seem kind to that one too. Yeah, I don't know. We could split these boxes too and give it a try. It's up to you. They don't seem to be mean to her. They seem to be mean to me. Not sure if you're seeing this or not. Look at them on my veil. It's crazy. What is the best option?
Well, if you put it on YouTube, you'll never find out.
What's that?
So if you put the video on YouTube, you'll never find out.
Yeah, yeah. Put the video on YouTube. There'll be a lot of
experts
experts that'll tell us how it's supposed to be. There's some really great people on there. It's just sometimes the people that just come in and say, that's the worst video ever. There's planes going by, like, yeah, planes, I can't shut down the airport just to film a video.
I believe you could.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the queen that was in here back in here, and we'll just let her walk out. And what we'll do is start this one up in a medium since she just started laying, and then once we empty the supers, we can put that on her hive. The trick's gonna be there's not many.
How hard would it be to recapture that queen?
You mean if you put them both in here?
No. So what if I can get that other hive built in a couple of days? I can.
Well, she'll be on the frame, so we'll just take all the frames and swap them over to whatever you're gonna do.
Would that be an option?
What are you thinking? So you're thinking the deeps?
Well, so just build a whole other separate hive. Because remember I had that second hive in there. I just haven't built it yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would be better.
She's coming out now. So let's do this. We'll leave this as a double deep. We'll set her up in a medium for now, and then as soon as you get that other one, we can put it on, but it's not going to have drawn frames, and I don't know that they're going to draw it out. That's my biggest concern.
Okay. So get them something that's already drawn out.
Yeah, which this is drawn out and this is drawn out, but I want to give this one the best chance of getting through the winter. That's partly drawn out. This mostly drawn out. As soon as we take the nectar out of some of that, she'll have open place to lay, and then they'll take off and boom. But we don't want to put too much wet supers back on this hive. Plus a lot of the bees are over here. That's the trick, is we're splitting it and the bees are going towards one queen. Let's set her up in a double medium setup for now. She may just need to be in a single medium, honestly. Gosh, decisions.
Yeah, we're going to choose somewhat soon because it's going to get really, really hot.
Yeah. There. It's too late. Shit. All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and get it back together. Let's leave that as a double deep, and then we'll take this medium and set it up on a different bottom. Do you have a different bottom board, or are we going to have to use this smash one?
We're going to use the smash one. The other one has
How many on-painted ones do you have?
just one.
Just one. Okay. Go ahead and put that back together. Yeah, see, the trick is she's not going to have a lot of bee population. Good over here. And push it. Yeah, good. All right. Inner cover. We'll close this one back up. No, not right now. Not right now. We're going to leave it off because we're taking all the extra and giving it to this other hive. See, the problem is we don't have a lot of bees, so we may have to take some bees out of this one and shake them into this one. Get that other bottom boards pulled out so we can get it. Actually, is it going to sit there, or are we going to put it on CMU blocks? Or is it going to sit over here? Okay. We're done pulling honey, so I'm going to set these off.
How are we doing?
I got that, at least for now.
So this box is right.
Yeah, put your foot in the middle and then lift the box. It'll separate from the bottom board. So if this was earlier in the year, I would absolutely split this hive in half. It's just, we're in a dearth. We're going to be in a dearth until September.
Keep this?
I wouldn't. I honestly wouldn't. We were just kind of doing it as a swarm trap until you got 2 hives set up, but that may happen today. You probably want to scrape some of that stuff out. Yeah, just trying to get the loose stuff out of there. If there's not much loose stuff, then that's fine.
All right.
It's got an entrance reducer. We'll tape this corner up.
Okay.
We want this box to be on there. Wait, is this the empty one or is this the... That's the one that's partially full that had her in it, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so we want this to go on there.
On
Just,
that one.
just take the whole box in the excluder. Just go ahead and set it all over here for now. Good there.
Yep.
I'm going to put her back in here for now. This is here. This is foundation. We hope that they're going to draw this one out. Let's set her in here. Coming out. Go on down. There we go. This is your queen clip too. Sorry, I'm having trouble making decisions here.
You're good.
These have honey.
Yep.
These have honey. These 5, when we come back, these are coming out and we're going to put extracted ones in here. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4 frames of honey, and then we have that. But what we need now is more bees. So we need to grab a few of these top frames and then just shake some bees in there. The trick's going to be some of these are not going to be...
Go ahead.
Oh, you know what we can do instead?
What?
What we can do instead? We could swap hive locations. So all the bees that are out, they'll come back to this hive and populate this hive. That'll probably be a better option. This is going to be heavy as heck though.
Yeah.
We can probably pop that top box off, but that's the best way to get bees is to swap hive locations.
All right.
So how are we going to do this first? We need to move that one out of the way first.
Mm-hmm.
You want to move it straight that way?
Yeah.
Oh man, that is nothing. That weighs
Yeah.
nothing. Yeah, so set that there.
All right.
Do you want to let's separate these boxes so we don't kill ourselves, or do you want to see what it feels like?
Let's see what it feels like, and then not do it.
Yeah, I think we can do it.
That's a good point, yeah. 1, 2, 3,
Go. Okay.
Yeah, great.
Coming down. Great, 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 great. So all the bees in there will stay in there. When they fly out, they'll come back to this hive, which is this one. Let's flip this over. And that'll get them a good start because they'll have a lot of bees, but not a ton of resources. And then hopefully we can get this bottom board swapped out pretty quick. You had tape somewhere, didn't you?
Downstairs.
I thought I saw some up here. That's okay. We can get that in a little bit.
Or it might be in the box. I kept some.
I saw it somewhere. There was blue tape somewhere. We need to tape that up because there's not a lot of bees right now.
Let me go check and check in the box.
Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we need to put a whole super on this to get them through. This would be the best way to repopulate that box. Side. This hive is done. Button them up. Now that we're in a dearth, I'll probably leave this off. Now the reason I had this propped up like this, someone made that comment, this inner cover doesn't have a notch. Usually the notch is good enough ventilation, but since there's not, I'm hoping there's enough ventilation through that top edge. But if that is a usurpation swarm or a virgin queen, she must have come back through here and went down, because that's the only way she would have gone through that queen excluder, is coming in through the top. I'm going to pause this for a second. We're just sealing up the bottom board now. It's a little bit older one. This is what we have right now, so this is what we're going to do. There's 2 queens, so we separated them, swapped locations so the bees fly back here. This is foundation, and these 5 are foundation. She was laying over here, so she's over here now. We're going to leave that foundation. We're going to extract honey and then put drawn combs in there and pull that foundation out. Those are placeholders. And then one of those supers, we're going to leave it back on this hive. That should be close to what they need to get through winter. And then the rest of the extracted frames, we'll put them all on this hive. Best case scenario, they can make it to a triple deep by the end of the year, and that'll be a little bit bigger than a double deep, so they'll make it through the winter. That'll be the goal. We'll see how close we can get to that goal. I'm going to step inside and grab that extra inner cover I saw in there, so we can get them buttoned up. So, do that. Get rid of this. Okay. Cool. Let's get one of these full 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to put the newer frames on hers because that probably smells the most like her. I think we need one more frame. Ooh, jeez, I forgot how big these were. I don't know why I'm putting this on here because this is 8 frame. But let's get a 10 frame box, either this Man Lake one or the green one. It's up to you.
Man Lake.
Let's do a white and then a green, then we can make a nice little pattern. Green, white, green.
Yep.
We can go ahead and grab those frames out of there.
How many are we putting in?
We need to get 10 in there, so all of them. Put the nice clean foundation in the middle, or the newer ones in the middle, older ones on the outside. Actually, start from the left to right. Sorry. Yeah.
Those are my left.
Start here and then put them in the order that they're in. And that's because those frames smell like her potentially, or her bees. So just leave them over there to where she is. We don't need that one. And move this over. You have 8 there or 9? 7?
8.
8. Go ahead, put that in there. So the problem with putting so much honey on a weak, smaller hive like that is there's not a lot of bees to defend it. So robbing is the biggest concern, but since we switched hive locations, this hive will be very populated by the end of the day. And since she's laying all of her new ones that hatch out, they'll orient on that space and come back there, and the same thing will happen for her. And we hope that them having this jump start, they'll boosting these bees, that they'll be good to go.
Is she in there now? This queen?
Yes, I did put her in there. Yeah.
I saw you put this one.
Yes, yeah. She was in the queen clip. The queen clip I ended up pulling out, shaking out, and then tossing over here. So yeah, she went down on these frames. I think you may have stepped inside. Inner cover that we just scraped off. She put that on. We should probably try to scrape the propolis off the top. Go ahead and set it down there, and then we can scrape it off. Just because last time that made the lid stick shut. So let you do that, and then we'll go ahead and put the white lid on that. Be a little green, white, green motif going on. And we just need to start finding a place to put these. Like if you have an empty pot where you want to keep this propolis or this wax, we'll just need to find a space for it.
I've got a container downstairs for it.
Should be good. Get that stuff. There you go.
Right.
And again, everything in the top box is good to go. We're gonna have to pull this off, get those 5 frames out, and then we'll put 5 extracted frames in there. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll have 1 extra frame. Actually, the other foundation, we can pull it out and put these all back. All right, let me just swap this over. We're done in here. We're done out here. Is there any equipment that we need to get back inside?
No problem for this.
Yeah, because this was our swarm trap, right?
Yep.